السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. درسنا اليوم Unit 10 Communication Grammar workbook 97. Objective: to use conditional sentence type 3 orally and in writing. بتلاحظوا درس اليوم هو نفس الدرس اللي تعلمناه الحصة الماضية، فنعمل مراجعة سريعة عليه. First, look at the blue box at the top. If he had gone to the mall, he would or could or might have bought a laptop. We said before that the conditional sentence has two clauses. If clause, the sentence that begins with if, is called if clause, and the second clause, which comes after the comma, we call it main clause. Each sentence has a verb, or each clause has a verb. The verb in the if clause is past perfect. Past perfect. Past perfect means had plus verb 3 or past participle. If he had gone to the mall, he, the second sentence or the main clause begins with the subject he would have bought a laptop, or we can say he could have bought or he might have bought. If you look at the second sentence, he might have bought a laptop if he had gone to the mall. We begin with the main clause, then with the if clause. Just we can exchange the sentences. He would have bought a laptop if he had gone to the mall. Now let's read these examples. Number one, if it had rained, look, we start with the if clause, had plus verb 3, past perfect. If subject it had rained, the main clause begins with subject you would have gotten or gotten wet. So we can start with the main clause. You would have gotten wet if it had rained. If it had rained. Sentence 2. If you had worked harder, you would have passed your exam. Look here. The first verb, past perfect, had plus verb 3. The second one, would plus have plus verb 3 or past participle, your exam. And also you can begin with the main clause and finish with the if clause. You would have passed your exam if you had worked harder. So after if, in all the cases, after if we use had plus verb 3, means past perfect, past perfect, past perfect. The second sentence, main clause, we use would or could or might plus have plus verb 3 or past participle. Look here also, in all the cases. Sentence 3 here, I would have believed you if you hadn't lied to me before. Lied to me, كذبت علي. Look here, if, use had, plus verb 3, past perfect. The first one would have verb 3. And also we begin with if you hadn't lied to me before, I would have believed you. Now let's go to workbook page 97. Workbook page 97, exercise 1. Complete the third conditional sentence with the verbs in brackets. Look at number 1. There are two verbs between brackets here, go and make. Sentence 2, speak and leave. 3, we have no, give. 4, buy, have. 5, send, be. 6, take, forget. And we have two verbs, two sentences. Number 1, as you see, it begins with F, and there is a comma here, and then there, the second sentence. We have if close and many close. So look at on the right, look at the rule on the right. If had plus verb 3, comma, we use would have plus verb 3. There is a comma that separates the two clauses. As you see, the if clause has past perfect, had plus verb 3. The second one, would plus have plus verb 3. But if you begin with the main clause, if becomes or comes in the middle. After if we use had plus verb 3 or past perfect. As look at the examples here, the two examples can illustrate the rules. If Ali had studied, as you see, comma, he subject would have past, would have and verb 3. The second sentence, if in the middle here. So we begin with would have verb 3. Ali would have passed if he had studied. Now look at the first one. If the Hampton team, not to New York, comma, look at the comma here. They not friends from around the world. Now use go. If the Hampton team had not, and we change the verb go to verb 3 or past participle, go becomes gone, G-O-N-E. So if the Hampton team had not gone to New York, they, look at now comma, you start with the second clause, they would have. They would not have. Don't say they would have not, they would not have, and you change the verb make to verb 3 or past participle. They would not have made. Make becomes made, M-A-D-E. Sentence 2. If Professor Brown, not to Laura's parents, she, the project. So we begin with speak now. If, use had plus verb 3. If Professor Brown had not, speak becomes spoken, S-P-O-K-E-N, S-P-O-K-E-N, to Laura's parents. So the second one will be would have plus verb 3. She would have leave, we change the verb 3. So leave becomes left, L-E-F-T, L-E-F-T, left. 3. Robert lists about the First Nations. If Professor Davis, not him, valuable help. We have no and give. Now look at sentence 3. We begin with the main clause, not if clause, if here is in the middle. So we start with would have plus verb 3. So Robert would have, no becomes what? Known. We add in, known. K-N-O-W-N. Robert would have known this about the First Nation if Professor Davis had not. Had not, give becomes given. We add in only, G-I-V-E-N, given. 3, also if in the middle. So we start with the main clause. would have plus verb 3. Holly would have, or could have, might have. Holly would have buy, we change buy to verb 3. Holly would have bought, B-O-U-G-H-T. Lots of souvenir. If she have. Look here now. Have, we have to change have to past perfect. So we can add if she had and change have to had. If she had more money. 5. If. Now we start with if. If Carly and Annie had not sinned becomes sent. We changed to T. Sent. Robert information. His work would have verb 3. His work would not have. Be becomes been. The verb 3 or the past participle of be is been. B-E-E-N. Jack, lots of photographs. F. So Jack would have take becomes taken. T-A-K-E-N, we add N. Lots of photographs. If he had not, forget becomes forgotten. F-O-R-G-E-T-T-E-N. Now let's go to exercise to complete the sentences with your own ideas. Number 1. If I had gone to another school. We begin with F. If I had gone. Look, if had gone. If had verb 3. Look at if. So if you look at the rule, if I had gone, look at the rule here. We use had plus verb 3. To another school, what would have? If I had gone to school, I would have made new friends. I would have known new friends. So you can change it. You can use your own ideas to complete the sentences. These are only examples and you can complete using your own words. 2. If I had visited New York in the holidays. Look, if I had verb 3, past participle. If I had visited New York in the holidays, I could or would have plus verb 3. I could have visited the Statue of Liberty. يعني تمثال الحرية. I would have been very disappointed if. Disappointed, خائب الأمل. I would have been very disappointed if. Look here, if in the middle, so we use would have plus verb 3 before it. I would have been very disappointed if I could, or if I, I would have been very disappointed if I had, then verb 3. If I had failed. رسبت. سقطت. F-A-I-L-D. F-A-I-L-E-D. 4. The girls would have enjoyed their holiday more if they, the girls, had traveled. If had traveled by plane. 5. If Sam had got up earlier. Look here, if had verb 3. He would not have missed the bus. So you can complete at home using your own ideas or words. Now look at exercise 3 here. Write third conditional sentence about the pictures. As you see, we have pictures here. So you have to use them to help you make your complete sentences. You have to use 2 sentences, if clause and many clause. And you have to put the rule into consideration. Look at the blue box at the bottom of the page or slide. If he had gone to the mall, he would have bought a laptop. And if you start with the main clause, what do we use? Would have verb 3, then you can use had verb 3. Look at the first one. This is John, picture 1. This is John. He fell over. يعني سقط وقع. We want to start with this sentence. If John had not fallen over. إذا ما وقعش. So you have to complete it here. Write the main clause. If John had not fallen over, he would not have. He would not have hurt his leg. He would not have hurt لن يؤذي, or he would not have broken يكسر his leg. So we have used had plus verb 3, and the second sentence he would not have broken or hurt his leg. Look at sentence 2. Sue did not go to New York. This New York, and this is what the statue تمثال of liberty. تمثال الحرية, statue of liberty. Now, if you begin with if, let's start with if here. If Sue, we have to change the verb to past perfect. We say, if Sue had not did, we changed it. If Sue had not, and go becomes gone, verb 3. If Sue had not gone to New York, she would, or if she had gone, let's say, if she had gone to New York, she would have seen the Statue of Liberty. Or you can say, if Sue had not gone to New York, she would not have seen the Statue of Liberty. Sentence 3. Sam overslept. We want to start with the main clause now. Sam, look at the bus here. He could not catch the bus. Why? Why he couldn't catch it? Because he overslept. So he missed the bus. So we can start with the main clause. Sam, this Sam would not have missed. يعني بيلحق الباص if in the middle you can put if. Sam would not have missed the bus if he had not overslept. If he had not overslept. في نهاية الحصة أرجو منكم حل الصفحة 97 كاملة في الورك بوك، التمرين الأول والثاني والثالث. وبعد الحل الورقة بأنفسكم بإمكانكم مراجعة الأجوبة من خلال هذه الصفحة. وأرجو من جميع الطلاب والطالبات متابعة هذه الحصص وكتابة الأجوبة في كتاب في الورك بوك أو ستودنتس بوك أولا بأول، وحل الاختبارات الإلكترونية. لقد لاحظت بعض من الطلاب وخاصة في المستوى 1 مستوى ليفل A لا يقوم بحل التمارين. مستوى A في البنين يعني بدرسوش بإتمام، بدرسوا نفس المنهج. فأرجو الجميع حل الاختبارات الإلكترونية ومتابعة الحصص أول بأول، وأتمنى لكم السلامة. في حالة العودة للمدارس سنكمل ما نصل إليه من خلال دروس إلكترونية، التعلم عن بعد. لن نقوم بإعادة الدروس من الأول، فأرجو منكم متابعة الحصص وحل الحصة الإلكترونية أول بأول، وبإمكانكم يعني سيظهر عندي من خلال حل الاختبارات الإلكترونية بأن هناك بعض الطلاب مهتمين وبعض الطلاب غير مهتمين بذلك، فأرجو من جميعكم الاهتمام بذلك، وأشكركم على الاستماع وأتمنى لكم النجاح والتوفيق.